Hey everybody, it's Randy with Carchaeology, and I'm doing another video here on the mystery car because I found some information that, well, is taking away some of that mystery. Now that I've spent a little bit of time with it, it's obvious that this is really just a one-off home-built kind of a thing. Now, I expected that would be the case. I didn't really have any dreams of it being any legitimate coach-built, super rare European late 30s sports car because it's missing all those details, although it's obviously inspired by that. But the question is, who built it and when? And in looking around at the car, I mean, to me, initially, I thought for sure this is something that was built probably back in the 1950s or 60s, back when people were doing these sport custom builds based on whatever they could find. But as I'm looking closer and looking at the age of some of the parts and things like that, unless the whole thing had been built back in the day and then completely upgraded, well, then it's not that. So things like disc brakes. So I see disc brakes in there on these wheels. These look like MG wheels to me. Looking at the front suspension, that also looks like it might be MG. And I don't know what year they started putting disc brakes on MGs, but I don't think it was until probably the 1970s or so. Other things, looking at it detail-wise, these headlights. This is kind of a modern headlight with that turn signal worked into the bottom of it there. Now, certainly that's something that could have been changed and could have been, from something else. Looking around at the gauges that are in it. So these instruments here, this one, who knows what this is. This was probably made out of something. But these here look like fairly modern instruments. Obviously, there's a little bit of rust around them. They've been in there a while and exposed to the weather. But I'm not seeing anything that looks super vintage. Although stuff like the radio, that Bowman AM/FM, I mean, Bowman probably stopped making that sort of stuff back in the 1970s. Heck, who knows? The other thing that's really intriguing, very interesting, is these front fenders. These front fenders are definitely fiberglass, but fiberglass from what? What are those for? Is that something for like a 37 Ford or something, some sort of custom hot rod thing that he started out with there, or whoever the builder was? I don't know. But when did they start making those sort of parts? Obviously it's a really nice fiberglass fender. I think these rears are also glass as well. But the manufacturer of those, the fitment of those are all things that are leading me to believe that it's something that was built more modern. Now, another thing, underneath the hood, this Chevy six-cylinder engine, I haven't looked up any of the info on it in particular as far as things like, production date and stuff, but this looks like kind of a later model engine to me. It's not a 235 or something out of a 50s era car. This to me looks like it's probably maybe late 60s or even early 70s. The ATI ignition on it, of course, is something a little bit more modern, but that's something that can be adapted from engine to engine. The radiator, this modern-looking radiator with a 12-volt fan hooked up to it, that's not something that was done back in the 1960s. Who knows? Who knows what the deal is? Now, the one thing I was looking at that caught my eye is this. Right here, a stamping on the bottom of the hood. Now this reads made by Tony Monroy 2015, which blew my frickin' mind. Are you kidding me? 2015 this car was built? That's only 10 years ago. Where has it been this past 10 years? And who is this Tony Monroy guy? So I did a little bit of sleuthing online, and sure enough, I found him. The guy is down in Georgia, and he is just a home-build hobbyist that has made some incredible cars over the years, including this one. And this is one that he did in 2015. And in fact, on YouTube, I found videos of him building this car in his home garage. And it's totally awesome. Now, he's done, I think, 6 or 7 of these sort of cars in a variety of shapes. He's done some other customs and things like that. And this is absolute homespun hobbyist. He doesn't have a shiny, perfect shop. He doesn't have incredible tools. Whatever tools he needs, he makes himself. He made his own little press to do the louvers. He has just basic tools to shape metal and to put these things together. And then I'm sure he does body and paint and that sort of thing himself as well. Now, when he built this car in 2015, it was painted white and with the red interior. And it still has that red interior in it, obviously. But somebody at some point repainted it in red. And then it was sold at an auction through an online auction that this gentleman purchased it from. And I don't know exactly when that happened. I'm hoping that the family that I got the car from can get me that information so I can find out whatever they know in regards to that. But wild stuff. This thing was built in 2015 out of used parts and who knows what else by a dude in his own home garage. I absolutely love it. I think it's great. And watching his videos and looking at the way that he puts this stuff together, it is really super inspiring. Is he doing the best work when it comes to fit and finish? No, he's not. But the guy's got a vision, the guy's got a dream, and he's frickin' making it happen in his own garage in Georgia. There's video out there of him, doing work on different cars with his wife and his kids and his dog there helping. I mean, all of it is just super cool. Now, I have not contacted him yet to tell him that I've got this car. Well, actually, I did. I did make a mention on one of his videos that I've got a car that I believe he built, but I haven't had a response from him, and I haven't reached out to call him and figure out if he's still around. I do think he is still around. In fact, I think he's roughly about my age, maybe a year or two older, but he's obviously still out there. And not only is he a car builder, he's also an artist. The guy has done paintings and some really incredible art, much of it including cars like this or other cars that he has built. In fact, there's one painting that looks like it has this car, or maybe what was inspiration for this car, in the image. And I'm curious to contact him to see if he actually did any art of this particular car. Because if he's got a painting of it, man, I'd love to have it. I think it would be really cool and really important to share as a part of its history. And he's also got a history of building string instruments. He worked as a luthier, I guess is the term, making violins and guitars and things like that. I mean, just really super talented guy. Yet in the videos, he just seems like your average dude working in his average garage, just doing what he loves and building things that inspire him. And I saw some comments and things where people have commented on his videos, and it's great. He's all the best part about it is he said, "I'm not a wealthy man. I just like to make stuff, and the only way I'm going to have a car like this is if I build it." And build it he did. In fact, he's built quite a few of them, and all of them are totally unique, and all of them are totally special. So, big hat tip to Tony for his efforts in just making shit happen. It's really impressive to me to see that there's people out there in the world today that are still chasing the dream of building their own car in their own garage and hammering it out with good, just plain old sheet metal and hammers and different things like that. It's awesome. Awesome stuff. He's a modern Renaissance man as far as I see it. And I'm thrilled to have one of his artworks here, his rolling artworks, here at the lab. It's going to be a blast to do a few things to it. It's going to be really fun to contact him at some point and maybe get some feedback from him. Maybe he can answer some of the questions as to where these parts came from and really what this car was all about and why he sold it and when. In any case, I'm really excited to find out the history of the car and to see some photos of it actually being built. Really, really awesome. And that is the power of the internet. You know, if this car was built back in the 1960s, there would be no record of it online, or very little record online, unless it had been featured in a magazine or something like that back in the day. But the fact that this was done in the digital age, and he was wise enough to take video and share photos of the build of the car, it is out there for the world to see and the world to find in the future. And I think that's really cool stuff. And that's a part of the reason why I do my videos as well, is that other people can learn from what I'm up to and hopefully be inspired by such things and to really pursue their passion. And Tony definitely pursued his passion with the creation of this incredible car. Now, the one thing I noticed is that he called his cars inliners because he uses an inline 6-cylinder engine in damn near everything. So this is a Tony Monroy inliner. Now, I'm not sure exactly what number. I'll talk to him about it and find that out. But this is a definite one of a kind, hand built by some dude here in America, and that is super special. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Keep on digging them up and driving them, and get out in the garage and build some shit. If Tony can knock this thing out in his shed out in the back of his place in Georgia and have a beautiful car to run and drive and inspire other people years into the future, well, so can you. Make it happen, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.